I don't give a damn. I said what I said. I meant what I meant. And I'm going to double up and double down on my podcast, The Stephen A. Smith Show. Look for it on YouTube today.
Stephen Smith has never been shy about speaking his mind. And now, his latest target is Kobe V. Bryant's widow, Vanessa. He's accusing her of draining Kobe's estate and facing financial ruin. Stephen has come out with receipts, and you won't believe what she's been spending her money on. Let's get to it. The family betrayal. The widow of NBA legend Kobe Bryant is now at the center of a firestorm because in a recent interview, Stephen A. didn't hold back. He publicly questioned whether Vanessa is deliberately cutting off Kobe's family from his wealth, and worse, hinted that she might be spiraling financially herself. To understand the chaos unfolding, now we need to understand how Vanessa got here and how little by little the empire that Kobe Bryant built is cracking. We begin with a revelation that rocked the Bryant family from the inside out. Vanessa Bryant's own mother, Sophia Lane, accused her daughter of kicking her out of her home. Just months after Kobe's tragic death in September 2020, Sophia did an interview that no one saw coming. She claimed she was left homeless by the very daughter whose husband had once promised to take care of her for life. This wasn't some bitter family spat behind closed doors. Sophia sued Vanessa, claiming Kobe had promised to support her financially forever. She argued she had been working for free as a personal assistant and nanny to the Bryant family for nearly 2 decades. She wanted back pay, millions, a house and a car, specifically $5 million a new house and a Mercedes SUV. Vanessa's response was nothing short of stunning. She publicly accused her own mother of extortion. She claimed Sophia had done nothing more than babysit occasionally and was now trying to cash in on a tragedy. I have supported her for nearly 20 years. She now wants to charge me $96 per hour for supposedly working 12 hours a day for 18 years. Vanessa said in a public statement. Then she said something that would shake the court of public opinion. My husband never promised my mother anything, but if this was just a fight with her mom, that would be one thing. This was only the beginning. At the exact same time, Vanessa was fighting her own mother in court. Kobe's mother, Pamela Bryant, stepped out of the shadows with a different story to tell. Pamela Bryant accused Vanessa of cutting her off completely after Kobe's death, of abandoning her financially and doing nothing to support the woman who gave birth to Kobe Bryant. Let that sink in. Within the same year of Kobe's death, both mothers, Sophia and Pamela, were accusing Vanessa of financial betrayal. The media pounced. Social media erupted. Stephen A. Smith himself even addressed the drama publicly, asking why no one in the NBA world was holding Vanessa accountable. The only person who consistently calls Vanessa out is Dr. Umar. At one point, he even claimed Vanessa was neglecting Kobe's parents because she's a racist, and the media is letting it happen because she's a white woman. But let's pause. This isn't just a matter of in-laws, racism, and exes. This is about what Kobe would have wanted, according to several sources, including those close to the family. Kobe himself was estranged from his mother long before his death. Pamela never apologized, and Kobe never forgave. We're trying to auction off his memorabilia. In 2013, Pamela tried to sell his high school jerseys and championship rings without his permission. Kobe responded with a lawsuit. From that point on, he cut her off emotionally and financially. After his death, Pamela turned to Vanessa demanding support. When Vanessa refused, the narrative was flipped on its head. Vanessa became the villain. The irony is staggering. The same woman Kobe allegedly disowned his mother or mistreating is now being dragged through the mud for honoring his final wishes. But there's one big question that's still hanging in the air. If Vanessa inherited an estimated $600 million estate, how is she now being accused of going bankrupt?
I don't hear nobody saying that. Now, you and I both know if a black woman inherited a white man's estate and he had some old white parents, white folks would be all over the media shaming them. All over the media shaming them. But because Kobe Bryant's parents are black, Vanessa's not black, nobody's coming to his family's defense. I just hope they stand up for Kobe's mom.
The financial meltdown? The deeper we dig into Vanessa Bryant's financial world, the clearer the pattern becomes. This isn't just a grieving widow trying to survive. This is someone possibly living beyond her means, caught in the grip of lawsuits, media pressure, and whispers of a crumbling empire. Even some of Kobe's most loyal fans are starting to ask, what is Vanessa really hiding? Let's start with the most explosive claim so far. Vanessa's own mother accusing her of betrayal in court. The pattern was becoming impossible to ignore. First Pamela Bryant, then Sophia Lane. Two mothers, two lawsuits, two sets of accusations, one woman at the center. But if you thought this was the worst of it, you're wrong. Behind the closed doors of the Bryant estate lies a secret war, a struggle over legacy, power, and wealth. And slowly, painfully, it's playing out in the most public, humiliating way imaginable. Since Kobe's passing, Vanessa Bryant has not only inherited his fortune, she's controlled it. And with that control has come a series of financial decisions that have triggered deep concern, legal confusion, and whispers of long-term damage to Kobe's legacy. Something Dr. Umar also believes is deeply rooted in racism. Kobe Bryant's net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $600 million. That included $200 million in NBA earnings, over $400 million from investments in business interests, like his $6 million investment in body armor that returned roughly $400 million when Coca-Cola acquired the company. Major brand partnerships, multiple luxury homes, cars, collectibles, and intellectual property and media assets under Granity Studios. So, what happened to all of it? The first sign of trouble came not in the headlines, but in the real estate listings. In 2022, Vanessa quietly listed one of Kobe's Newport Beach homes purchased in 2013 for sale. According to real estate analysts, the home was worth roughly $2 million more than they paid. Yet she offloaded it just as whispers of legal fees and estate restructuring began circulating within the next 12 months. Two more luxury properties were listed, including a family-owned condo used by relatives in a sprawling retreat outside of California. What's strange, these were homes Kobe intended to keep for his daughters, part of the long-term estate plan. Her team stayed silent, but financial experts weren't. When you see multiple properties being sold off in a short time frame, especially by someone with no consistent income stream, it usually indicates one thing: cash flow problems. An estate planning attorney told Bloomberg anonymously, Vanessa's legal battles have drained a shocking amount of Kobe's estate in just 3 years. She's been involved in a wrongful death lawsuit against the helicopter company, a lawsuit against the LA County Sheriff's Department over leaked crash scene photos. She won $16 million, but that was tied up in legal fees and split with co-plaintiffs. 2 family lawsuits from her own mother and another threatened by Kobe's mother, and ongoing trust litigation.
Racism is about the control of resources, opportunities, and privileges. It has nothing to do with calling black people the N-word. It has nothing to do with believing black people are inferior to you.
Even if she won some of these battles, the cost of fighting them was monumental between attorney retainers, estate management, asset disputes, and private settlements. Multiple estate advisors estimate she's burned through tens of millions in legal costs alone. In the last 3 years, Vanessa has been spotted vacationing in Europe, Turks and Caicos, Aspen, and other high-end locations, wearing custom couture gowns to award shows and celebrity galas, hosting private events that often include celebrity chefs, 5-star venues, and private security, and flying exclusively by private jet, even on short-haul domestic flights. No one's saying she shouldn't live. Well, she lost a husband. She's raising 3 daughters. She's entitled to some comfort. But here's the problem. She doesn't appear to be reinvesting in the Bryant brand. She's depleting it. Take Granity Studios, for example. Before his death, Kobe had built Granity into a powerhouse of content. He published several books and was in talks with Netflix and Disney for animated adaptations. Now, the Instagram page has been inactive for over 2 years. The website lists no new projects, and former employees say the studio is on hold or winding. Kobe's Mamba Sports Foundation renamed the Mamba and Mamba. Sita Sports Foundation by Vanessa has also slowed activity, while Vanessa still promotes the charity. Tax records show a steep decline in funding year over year. Corporate sponsors have quietly backed away. The Bryant estate wasn't just about money, it was about impact, legacy, continuity. Kobe wanted his daughters to inherit not just his wealth, but his vision. And now that vision is disappearing. Several insiders have reported that Vanessa has been consolidating Kobe's business partnership. Interpersonal trust. She controls effectively removing advisory boards and replacing business managers. Kobe handpicked. She's reassigning power, not just inheriting. It says one former Granity consultant. That's a red flag. Kobe had systems, teams, layers of protection, and now it's all Vanessa between legal fees, property taxes, and maintenance on luxury homes, private travel and security, lifestyle costs, non-diversified investments, and zero evidence of scalable new income from Kobe's brands. Experts believe Vanessa could have already spent over $100 million since 2021. Insider claimed that unless something changes, either a major reinvestment into Kobe's business assets or the launch of a sustainable brand partnerships, Vanessa could run out of estate liquidity within the decade. That, according to Stephen A. Smith and others, is a tragedy. A sizable estate, one that's slowly vanishing before our eyes. The legacy lost. For years, Vanessa Bryant was untouchable. She was the grieving widow who stood tall in front of millions, eulogizing Kobe with grace. She was the face of strength, a mother holding her family together after an unthinkable tragedy. People worshipped her, respected her, sympathized with her. But now, that sympathy is running out in the court of public opinion. Vanessa Bryant is no longer the victim. She's becoming the villain, and the shift didn't have been overnight. It started with whispers, comments under posts, Reddit threads, Twitter debates. But now, those whispers are turning into a roar. The social media reaction to Stephen A. Smith's viral comments was explosive. Fans exploded. The clip went viral on TikTok, racking up millions of views, thousands of duets and heated arguments across all platforms. For the first time, the public began to question Vanessa, not just praise her. YouTube exposes began popping up with titles like Vanessa Bryant is not who you think she is, the silent collapse of Kobe's empire. And Stephen A. Smith tried to warn us each one, pulling receipts, legal filings, estate documents, and interviews. The tone, no longer sympathetic. Even legacy media started to pivot in the years immediately following Kobe's. Outlets like People, E.T., and Vogue praised Vanessa for her strength and motherhood. But recently that tone has cooled. Forbes did a breakdown of Kobe's estate, but noticeably omitted praise for Vanessa's financial leadership. The Los Angeles Times ran an article on her real estate sales, calling them strategic, but acknowledging uncertainty in the Bryant estate's future. They weren't attacking her, but they weren't protecting her anymore either. And that silence is deafening. Even the celebrity world is backing away. In 2020 and 2021, she was surrounded by A-list friends: Lala, Anthony Sierra, Kim Kardashian, Gabrielle Union. But by 2023, those posts began to disappear. Red carpet appearances grew. Fewer birthday tributes stopped. Mentions dried up. Today, you'll be hard-pressed to find a single high-profile celebrity publicly defending Vanessa amid all the controversy. Even LeBron James, once believed to be close to the Bryant family, has remained dead, silent about the lawsuits and state drama. When everyone around you starts to go quiet, is usually because they know something you don't. The backlash spread into Kobe's most sacred territory. His fans, Kobe Bryant's fan base, arguably the most loyal, emotional, and protective in sports, began asking hard questions. Why has Mamba Academy's online presence all but vanished? Why has Nike distanced itself from commemorative Kobe merchandise? Why aren't there any major documentaries or books celebrating Kobe's legacy? The answer, according to insiders, Vanessa has full creative and legal control over all of it, and she's either not prioritizing it or actively blocking it. 1. Former ESPN producer speaking under condition of anonymity revealed that a major streaming service's Kobe docuseries was delayed indefinitely after estate negotiations fell through because Vanessa's legal team allegedly made unreasonable demands the result. Silence. Again, no documentary, no long-form tribute, no real public commemoration of the Mamba legacy. Outside of social media posts and charity gear, what would Kobe Bryant think if he saw all this? The lawsuits, the silence, the wealth crumbled under legal bills and lavish spending. The two mothers, his and hers, suing his widow. Within the same 12-month span, The fans turning, the brand fading, the trust broken. This isn't just a scandal. It's a spiritual betrayal. Kobe Bryant's legacy wasn't just about basketball. It was about discipline, fatherhood, mentorship, legacy, vision. He worked harder than anyone, not just to be a champion, but to build something that would outlive. And now that dream is in danger of dying with him. I want my kids to understand the importance of hard work. I want them to learn that nothing comes easy and that being great requires focus, sacrifice, and commitment. That was from a 2017 ESPN interview just 3 years before his death. My daughters are everything to me. My legacy is theirs. Now, I'm just building the foundation. They'll build the future. That was from a 2019 interview with GQ, just months before the crash.
Man left her a sizable estate, man. A sizable estate. And I don't hear any of these NBA players saying like, listen, we're not trying to get in your business, but Kobe was our brother.
Everything Kobe built, Granity Studios, Mamba Academy, his body armor stake, his books, his children's stories was about the long game. He didn't care about being a celebrity anymore. He cared about being a father, a builder, a man of legacy. What we've seen in the years since his passing doesn't reflect that vision. Kobe founded Granity to produce children's stories and animated content that would empower young people, especially young girls, to believe in their own greatness. He called it a storytelling studio with a sports soul. But after his death, the heartbeat stopped. The Instagram page silent, the projects canceled, the team gone. Kobe's second baby was the Mamba Sports Academy, a high-performance training center that emphasized mental toughness, teamwork, and excellence. It was also the place where he and Gianna trained together. It was a temple to his values. After his death, Vanessa renamed it to the Mamba and Mamba Sita Sports Foundation. A beautiful gesture at first, but according to public filings and first-hand reports, the foundation has since scaled back training programs, halted expansion plans, lost corporate sponsorships, and had staff laid off or reassigned. The very place Kobe wanted to use to shape the next generation of athletes, now reduced to a branding label and a trickle of press appearances. Kobe was a notoriously disciplined spender. Even at the height of his career, he avoided reckless purchases. He invested in companies, content, and charities. His motto was, own, don't rent, build, don't borrow. Vanessa's approach has been the polar opposite, selling off legacy properties. Kobe intended to keep spending millions on legal wars with both sides of the family, private jets, high-end vacations, designer events, and no apparent reinvestment into his business vision or brand growth. Is this what Kobe worked for? Would he have wanted his name buried in lawsuits, his parents cut off, and his studios and academies left to die quietly in the background? Even if you support Vanessa as a mother, even if you sympathize with her grief, this doesn't align with Kobe's philosophy. Kobe Bryant didn't just win championships. He gave his life to something bigger. And now that dream is being slowly dismantled, not by enemies or rivals, but by the very person who promised to protect it. The truth of Stephen A's statement cuts deeper than any headline, because the size of Kobe's estate wasn't just measured in dollars. It was measured in dreams, vision, purpose, and what's left now. A fractured family, a dormant business legacy disappearing funds, and silence. Can the Bryant legacy survive without Kobe? Or has the empire he spent his life building already been lost? That answer lies with Vanessa. But make no mistake, the world is watching, and if she truly wants to honor her husband's name, she still has a chance to reinvest, to reconcile, to rebuild. But she'll have to do what Kobe always did when he faced the impossible. Own her mistakes, make hard decisions, and fight for something bigger than herself. Only then will Kobe's legacy rise again, the untold secret. But there are darker corners of this story that haven't seen the light of day, areas where the silence is so deafening. It speaks volumes about what might really be happening behind the scenes, the children's future at risk. Let's talk about what nobody wants to discuss. What happens to Natalia, Bianca, and Capri Bryant? These girls didn't just lose their father and sister, they may be losing their inheritance too. Kobe's estate was structured as a trust, meaning Vanessa controls it until the girls reach certain ages. But here's a terrifying reality. Every dollar spent on legal battles, every property sold, every business venture abandoned is money taken directly from their future trust experts. We consulted, expressed alarm at the pattern. When you are burning through tens of millions in legal fees and lifestyle expenses while shuttering income-generating businesses, you're essentially stealing from the beneficiaries. One estate attorney told us anonymous. Even more disturbing, Natalia Bryant, now 21, has reportedly had limited involvement in estate decisions despite being legally entitled to information about her inheritance. Sources close to the family suggest she's being kept in the dark about the true financial state of her father's empire. Here's something that will shock you. Kobe's Nike deal will, set to continue generating millions annually for his estate. But since 2020, Nike has quietly scaled back Kobe merchandise releases. Why industry insiders claim Vanessa's team has been difficult to work with, making demands that Nike executives found unreasonable and contrary to Kobe's original vision for the partnership. One former Nike executive, speaking on condition of anonymity, revealed Kobe wanted his shoes to be accessible to kids who couldn't afford Jordans. Vanessa's team wanted premium pricing and limited releases. It went against everything. Kobe stood for the result. Millions in potential revenue, lost revenue that was supposed to fund scholarships, academies, and his daughter's futures. Everyone knows about Vanessa's $16 million victory against LA County. But what they don't know is how much of that money actually reached her legal fees, consumed a massive portion, and the settlement was split with other crash victims' families. More shocking sources suggest Vanessa may have turned down a much larger settlement offer early in the process because her legal team convinced her they could get more. That gamble may have cost the estate tens of millions in additional legal costs and delayed resolution before his death. Kobe was in partnership with several business associates on ventures beyond body armor and Granity. These included tech investments, international business deals, and media partnerships. Where are these partners now? Several former business associates have gone completely silent, refusing to discuss their projects with Kobe. One tech entrepreneur who worked with Kobe on a sports analytics company told us off the record, After Kobe died, Vanessa's people came in and essentially shut everything down. Millions in development just disappeared. Kobe wasn't just big in America, he was a global icon, especially in China, Italy, and throughout Europe. He had licensing deals, international partnerships, and was planning major business expansions overseas. No international appearances by Vanessa, no global partnerships announced no continuation of Kobe's international business interests. It's as if she's deliberately abandoning the worldwide empire. Kobe spent years building, perhaps most heartbreaking of all. Kobe was working on a memoir. Close friends confirmed he had been writing about his life, his mistakes, his growth as a father, and his vision. For his daughter's futures, that manuscript is reportedly locked away in the estate, and Vanessa has shown no interest in publishing it. Imagine the impact that book could have had, the lives it could have touched, the money it could have generated for his daughter's futures. Instead, it sits in a vault. Another piece of Kobe's legacy. He dying in silence. Most damning of all, former employees and associates are starting to break their silence. NDAs are expiring. People who worked closely with Kobe are beginning to speak out about what they've witnessed since his death. One former Mamba Academy coach told us Kobe had plans, big plans, programs for underprivileged kids, international training camps, coaching certification programs. Vanessa scrapped all of it within months of his death. A former Granity Studios employee revealed we had Netflix interested in a Kobe documentary series. Disney wanted to do animated movies based on his books, all canceled because Vanessa's team wanted creative control that would have diluted Kobe's message. Here's the most chilling reality. If current spending patterns continue, financial exercise, experts estimate the Bryant estate could be functionally bankrupt within 7-10 years. That means Natalia, Bianca, and Capri Bryant, the daughters Kobe died, believing would be set for life, could inherit nothing but debt and legal battles. Why hasn't a single major NBA player publicly supported Vanessa's decisions? Why has Nike quietly distanced itself? Why are international partners staying silent? Why are former employees breaking their NDAs to speak out? The answer might be simpler than we think. They know something we don't. And if Stephen A. Smith was brave enough to say what everyone else was thinking, maybe it's time for all of us to start asking the hard questions. Is Vanessa Bryant the protector of Kobe's legacy or its destroyer? Is she a grieving widow, making the best of a tragic situation, or someone who's lost control of an empire she never understood? And most, what would Kobe say if he could see what's happening to everything he built? The clock is ticking. The money is disappearing. The legacy is crumbling. And soon there may be nothing left to save.